Hokkaido is a vast island that covers about 20% of Japan's total land. It is a place where the mountains meet the sea, and the uniquely diverse culture made Hokkaido so special. In this part, we talk about Otaru, a famous city in Hokkaido. This romantic city of central Hokkaido is full of exotic history. Let's take a look at these important places and get to know the interesting history here. But first of all, subscribe to our channel to watch more interesting videos like this. It takes half an hour to 50 minutes to reach Otaru from Sapporo station. When we arrived at Otaru station, it felt like we time traveled and reached some old days station. The journey that started from this station near the sea, decorated with glass lamps of the old days, tells us that this Otaru trip is going to be quite interesting. We set foot outside the station with a lot of excitement. We first reached the Otaru Canal area. This canal is the symbol of Otaru city. Hokkaido was once the habitat of the Ainu people, who made their living primarily through fishing and hunting. But one thing that made Otaru one prosperous cities of Hokkaido, and that is herring. The abundance of this fish in the sea around Hokkaido has attracted a large number of ship owners and merchants. With the sudden prosperity, the city began to transform. First came the railroad, then port, warehouse, bank, one after one, and the whole scenario changed around this canal. In the first half of the 20th century, the Otaru Canal was one of the busiest ports in the city. Large ships at sea were uploaded by small ships which later entered through this canal and transported goods to warehouses. This part of the canal was later beautifully preserved as a relic of the city's past. So in its vicinity, still we can see the warehouses that are now used as museums or restaurants, the gas street lamps that still shine in the evening and silently tells the stories of lost days. So it is nice to stroll along the sidewalk during day or night. Not only walking, but if you want, you can experience canal boating, which is very popular in Otaru. The canal is also home to one of the city's most popular festival, which is Otaru Yuki Akari no Michi or Otaru Snowlight Path Festival. It is a short walk from here to the famous preserved merchant street known as Skaimachi Street. But before we go there, let's take a look at this former Temiya line. This Temiya line was a local Frei narrow gauge railway in Otaru, connecting Minami Otaru Station and Temiya Station. Originally found in the late 19th century to transport coal and marine goods. It's closed in 1985 and it is Hokkaido's oldest railway actually. It has been turned into the Otaru City General Museum where you can visit once. On the way here, we saw a stained glass museum. You can visit it if you want. Inside it, you can see stained glasses which were made in England in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Is actually part of the church window fixtures. Some of the stained glass has curved words and images that tell the history from the prosperous reign of Queen Victoria through the Edwardian period and into the post-World War era. Just in front of the Canal Plaza Tourist Information Center, don't forget to see the statue of firefighter Bunko. This brave dog has worked as a firefighter almost 1,000 times in his 24 years life without any formal training. He was saved as a puppy after being found in burned down ruins after a fire and lived in the Otaru fire station for most of his life, being looked after by the firefighters. Japan is proud of Bun-Chan just like Hachiko. Now we are at the North Wall Street. The place is named after the World Financial Center Wall Street in New York. Here you can feel the history of Otaru City, which was once the center of finance and economy of Japan. If you have time, must visit the Bank of Japan Otaru Museum here to know the banking history and other interesting things. Now let's talk about Skaimachi Street. This street is basically Otaru's preserved merchant street. During the development of Hokkaido in the late 1800 to the early 1900, Otaru prospered as a port city, and many trade and shipping companies built Western-style office buildings, shops here in the city center. Currently, most of the buildings along Skaimachi Street have been converted into restaurants, souvenir shops, cafes, boutiques, and museums. There are a few glass workshops for tourists to enjoy the experience of making local Otaru glass. We entered into one and looked around. Otaru's glasswork tradition began with the manufacture of glass fishing equipment in a factory. Later, when the herring business was declining, these workshops started making beautiful home-style glassworks instead of fishing equipments, which are now very popular souvenirs. Here, some studios will let you do glasswork by yourself. Making your own glassware is a different kind of experience that you can definitely try. You just need to pay the making and product charge, and it will take 1 or 2 hours to create something unique and beautiful. Now let's go to the Music Box Museum. There are many types of music box stores on Skaimachi Street, but this building is the main Otaru Music Box Museum. It was actually built in 1915. The easiest way to recognize it is in front of this building, you will see a steam clock. The steam clock made of this bronze is powered by steam generated in the boiler, and it creates a melody with a scale of 5 musical instruments every 15 minutes. Now let's enter. Approximately 25,000 music boxes of 3,400 different kinds are available in this main building, which will take you to the world of music. There are so many variations of the music box inside that you don't even notice how time passes. But the sudden feeling of hunger reminds us that we haven't had lunch yet. So we started walking out of the museum to look for a restaurant. One of the greatest joys of traveling to Hokkaido is the delicious cuisines you will discover here. Whether it's fresh seafood or special ramen or soup curry from the main course, or soft services like ice cream or juicy melon from the dessert, nothing will disappoint you. So we went to this Crazy Spice restaurant to taste the Otaru special soup curry. Unlike the better known curry, this curry is served as a light soup. It serves with traditional sticky rice, and trust me, it was super yummy. Apart from this, there is another very good place to visit here, which is called Nishin Goten, that is Herring Palace or Mansion, which is a spacious wooden construction built in 1897. As I said at the beginning of today's trip, the herring fishing industry had played a major role in the history of this city's development. During the heyday of herring fishing, this Nishin Goten was created for rich fishermen to process fish and as a habitat for themselves and their workers. This herring palace, built in the late 19th century, stands on a hill near the sea, 5 kilometers outside of central Otaru. Now it is open for public. Fishermen's equipment and lifestyle are displayed inside, and that's why many people come to see it. We mentioned it in our previous days Otaru Blue Cave adventure vlog. And yes, you can actually do the Blue Cave adventure during your day trip. We did it and we blogged. For your convenience, take a look. A place where you can enjoy countless scenic spots and cliffs that meets the sea and city that is loaded with history is always a great spot for any traveler. Hope you like this journey too. Then please don't forget to like it and share your thought and ask if you have any queries. Be sure to share the story of this beautiful city with everyone.